It's 3 hours.
So welcome to our show tonight. Want to welcome everybody. I have with me Mr. Ephraim Alberto. He's with Shekhinah Tours in Bonaire. And he's going to give us all the good information, all the skinny on Bonaire. To start with, let me ask you this, Ephraim. Tell us about your background, how you got started in doing tours.
Okay, thank you again for letting me coming online with you. So my name is Ephraim Alberto, and I've been basically into the aviation world, but also I've been traveling around the world a little bit as well for a few years. But by the end, my dad started this Shekhinah Tours company and pretty much wanted to give the visitor visiting the island a local experience. And going home to visit my mom and dad, I got more passionate about tours and about showing people around the island as well. And I end up doing it and helping my dad with the jobs and everything. So, yeah.
Okay, well, very nice. It's nice to work in a family business, and it's especially nice if you get to do something that you enjoy doing. That always makes it special.
Yes.
So we're going to pretend to start with, and this actually is not really pretending because I've never been to Bonaire. I have a trip scheduled in January. So if the virus doesn't get the trip, when I show up in Bonaire in January, what is it that you would put together in the way of an itinerary for a first-time visitor?
Okay, so if you are visiting by cruise ship, the best thing you can do is to choose between the north side, the south side, or combine the north and the south. If you really want to look for a big time to see around, what you can do is the combination between the north and the south. And you will get more information.
Okay, so tour the north and the south. Sounds like we have a technical glitch here. That's okay.
Right.
It happens. So if we did the combined tour, what are some of the things that we might see? Do we want to do the pictures now, or what do you think? And we have hung up the internet. He should be back in just a minute. We'll give him a minute. I don't know if you can hear me, Ephraim, but your video is locked up. Yep, he'll be back. Now you're back.
I'm back here.
Okay. So if again, I'm coming on a cruise. I get there. Let's say we do the combined tour. What are some of the things that I could look forward to seeing as we go around the island?
Okay, so if you choose for the combined, the north and the south, you'll be probably looking for in the downtown Kralendijk. So you'll see a lot of colorful buildings. That is basically the town where you'll find all souvenir shops, restaurants. That's very close to where the ship will be docked. It's like a minute to 2 minutes, 3 minutes walking. And from the town, we will continue going up to the north, and then you will be seeing the north side, which include the 1,000 step. So you might think of, oh, it's a 1,000 step, but I'm not going to share everything. I'm going to leave it as a surprise, but it's a beautiful spot. And most of the tourists that visit Bonaire will go to the 1,000 step. And then from there, we'll continue going to Goato Lake, where you will be able to see flamingos and beautiful nature. You'll see iguana, goats, a lot of birds. And then from there, you'll continue going to Rincon. Rincon is a very old neighborhood where everything started on the island. So we'll be going through there as well. We'll stop at a place called Kadushi. That is where they make the local traditional liquor of the island. and you'll be able to taste it for free. You'll be able to walk around, and they'll tell the story how they make it, etc., etc. So from there, we will continue driving back to town, go through town, go to the south side. You'll be able to see the pink water with the salt, and we'll share about, as we driving, we will stop and we will share about the nature, the culture, and all the stuff that we're going through. And after this pink water with the salt, we'll be going to the slave huts. And then at the slave huts, we'll be talking around as well. And then from there, we will return back to the ship. So that is basically the highlight that you'll be getting if you're getting the tour, the north and the south. And you'll be getting more, especially like, other things that we're passing through, which is going to be a surprise. Because if I share everything right now, then you're going to know everything.
Yeah. Well, I got to save a little mystery. Okay, so let's go through. You got some pictures, so let me pop those up. And let's do this. I'm just going to make the pictures up full screen there.
Yeah.
So what do we got? What is this picture besides the cruise port?
So this is basically where the cruises will be docking the ships, and right in front of the ship, that is the town. And as you can see, the length of the ship, that is basically the length of the downtown. That's just simple as it is. It's not big. You go through town, you walk around, you go around in town in a very short amount of time. So if you're coming to the island and you just want to look around what the island is the best thing to do the north and the south tour. Then you'll spend to see more than just a little town.
Okay, so let's take a look at the next slide here.
So that is a little bit on the north side of the island. So if you look at the picture, and on your right-hand side, you'll find the cruises. And on your left-hand side, you will find the north side. So we will be driving along that coast to the north side. And this is basically where all the hotels and apartments are.
Okay, that water is amazingly beautiful.
Yeah. If you're going by plane, if you look down, you will literally see everything, like the sand, the corals. If there's a big fish there, you'll be able to see it as well. It's very clear.
Somebody got a very nice picture of a rainbow over, looks like a Holland America ship.
Yes, Holland America, and the ship in the front was the Royal Caribbean as well. This was a beautiful day with the rainbow, and yeah, it was just beautiful. Yeah. So on this picture, you will see the slave huts where the slaves used to live many, many years ago. And people just like to see and also hear the story about how everything started on the island, and also during the slave time.
Okay.
Yeah. And here is also the slave huts. So we have the yellow and we have the white ones. We used to have blue ones as well. So it's combining with colors. But these are all things that we share, and we also ask questions. Like we ask our guests having the tour with us, is like, why do you think the slave huts are white and the other slave huts are orange? Why are they blue? So we kind of interact with the guests, and then we'll give the answer. But I'm not going to give the answer right now. So I'll let you come to the island, and then I'll give you the answers.
Okay. Is that like a trivia question? You get something if you know the answer?
Yes, of course. This is also where you will be able to see and feel and taste the salt that are being made on the island. So this is where all the tourists come, and they can get examples. They can take it home with them. And this is one of the things that you're allowed to take on board the ship with you. A lot of ships don't allow you to bring corals, rocks, liquids, and all this stuff. But the salt you're allowed to bring on board the ship, because you can buy the salt everywhere on the island.
Okay.
This picture is basically to show you all the group of people standing there on the pier. These are like people who buy their things, their excursions on land on board the ship. But if you book it with us, You see where those people are? You'll just walk through there, past the security, and then we'll be standing right in front there with your name on a piece of paper waiting for you. And as soon as you get there, we're ready to go. So this is just an example of what to expect when you arrive by cruise.
Okay.
Yeah, here you'll see the same thing. It's like you pass through those tents and walk straight ahead, and then you'll see us standing right there with the signs and stuff like that.
Okay.
Flamingos like this, very close up, you will not see that often. But if you do book a tour starting at 8:30 in the morning, before all those big buses start heading to the north, you get like an 80% chance to see flamingos this close by. The reason why they're not this close by in more in the afternoon is because you get all the motorcycles, you get all the big buses, they make noises, and the flamingo move up a little bit further ahead.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They like the quiet.
Yes. So this is basically very close to the shore where the cars are passing by.
Okay. And one thing I noticed, and just comment on this, is, and I noticed it on the video I did before too, is that there's a lot of what look like desert on Bonaire. It's not, you a lot of times you think of tropical islands as being palm trees and tropical trees, and this looks much more like desert with. I'm not sure. Those look like saguaro cactuses.
Yes, we do have a lot of cactus, and we don't have a lot of rain, so the island is very dry. But as soon as we get a little bit of rain, you will see a lot of greens, and it's beautiful because you see all the different colors of green. For example, in this picture, you can see the dark green and the light green, but imagine that looking ahead of you towards the hills, it's very beautiful when at least it's rain a little bit. And our raining season is very short. It's just like November, December, January, and February.
Okay.
So this picture over here is the 1000 step. It doesn't clearly show the 1000 step, but here you'll see the ocean, and people love this beach. It's beautiful to stand here where the picture is taken is just the entrance, and you can just stand there and enjoy the view. It's beautiful.
It is very definitely beautiful.
Yeah. This is a sunset. So a lot of the tours happening for the sunset are people or who are staying on the land. For example, a lot of people come by cruise. They take the north and the south tour, and then after like a few months or 1 or 2 years, they come back for like 2 3 weeks, and then we do a sunset tour in the afternoon, and then they go to the beach and then end up to a restaurant and stuff like that.
Yeah, that's very pretty.
Yeah, sunsets are beautiful on the island. With this group of lady, it was a very amazing group. We end up visiting the Dunky Sanctuary. So it's a sanctuary where they take a lot of the donkeys to take care of the donkeys, the ones that are sick or need help, and then they let them go. They feed them. It's a very interesting park. This is the first time I went into the park with this group of ladies, and it was amazing.
All right, well, very cool. So, are there wild donkeys on the island?
Yes, there are wild donkeys. Yeah, yeah.
Okay.
Here is Spice Beach. This beach is also very good for after the tour. You want to go to the beach and relax. You don't really need to go swimming if you want to. If you do want to go swimming and you have difficulties, that's no problem at all because at the pier at this beach, you can just sit on the stairs that goes into the water, and you'll basically be in the water. It just the stairs are very nice there. So, and you can or you can just choose to sit on the beach and relax for a few hours, and then we will just pick you back up and bring you back to the ship. The only thing that we always tell our guests is make sure that everybody is ready 1 hour before the departure of the cruise ship's time, so you'll be back in town or at least at your ship 1 hour ahead.
Okay, that suits me because I don't want to ever be a pier runner.
No, no.
So we got a question here from Marvin. He asked, "When's the best time of year to visit?"
The best time of the year to visit is, for example, if you don't want to be into the high season, that starts November till January, February, March, April, till May. So that is the high season. So if you don't like um, crowded places, you should visit after May or before November. But November till May, that is the high season where you'll find a lot of activities on the island. But also, it's summer the whole year around. So there's no winter, no snowfall, no spring. It's all summer. So you can just basically visit the whole time of the year. But
Okay.
it also depends on the high and low season.
All right, and if I remember right, you guys don't get much impact from hurricanes, right?
Yes, we are just outside of the hurricane belt. Most of the hurricane pass north of us. So we will, if the hurricane even pass very to the south, we will get a lot of rain, but not much of the wind of the hurricane.
Okay.
Yeah.
And so, is this a coral island? Is that coral we see?
Yes, this is coral from many years ago. The water level was at that height, and that is where the wave keep crashing against the coral, and they create that little U shape that you see over there. And this is the way up to 1,000 step. It's amazing. I mean, when you see this, it's amazing that you can even think about if you were here 1,000 years ago, like not even 1,000, more than 1,000 years ago, you'll be literally be underwater.
And today it's 1,000 steps to get down there.
Yes, let's keep it to that way. This is a overview of the Goato Lake, and this is where you'll find the flamingos. And if you see straight ahead, a little bit to the left, that is the Brandaris. That is the highest point on the island. We don't call it mountain because it's not that big. It's just small hills. We don't have mountains on the island.
Okay, well, it still looks like a pretty good sized hill.
Yeah, it goes up to 700 something meters, I think. This
So,
is also another flamingo. Um, the wood that you see in the back there, that's basically wooden fence. They don't want to do anything with barbed wire for rust and all this stuff for the flamingos and the nature reserve areas.
okay.
Yeah. This is Rincon. This is where everything started on the island. It's a very small neighborhood, and not many people live there, but it's a very traditional, and there's only like about 2,000 people living in there. So it's a very interesting story. It's very amazing. This is their own flag, and they welcome you into that neighborhood over there. They have their own flag. Bonaire have also his own flag, but Rincon is like definitely the start of everything on Bonaire itself.
Okay. And so, what kind of liquor do they make at the distillery?
It's cactus liquor, so they make liquor from cactus.
So,
Um,
like tequila?
yes, they do make tequila. They make rum. They make different flavors of liqueurs, and they also make whiskey and some other liquor as well on the island.
Okay.
This is the salt area. So those white hills that you see over there, that's basically all salt. And the pink water in front of it, that is basically the salt water where they will take the salt out. So
Okay. And
when
I'm assuming as small as the island is that you guys must export a lot of salt.
Yeah, we do export a lot of salt. Yes, and most of our salt is going to the U.S., Canada, and to Europe. A lot of people think that our salt is being used to put on the road for when wintertime, but our salt is very high quality salt, and they use it for water softeners. So houses in the states that use to purify water for drinking, they have to put salt into a bucket thingy so the water can go through. So that's basically one of the ways that they use this type of salt. And we use this salt for a lot of other things as well, and which also we share a lot in our tours as well on when we're doing the tours.
Yeah, I would say I'm thinking they probably wind a lot of it winds up in sea salt for the table as well.
Yes, we do. And for everybody who takes the tour will get very awesome souvenirs as well. So, and it's something to do with the salt. It's a
Okay.
surprise. This is in a picture showing um, when you drive on the road, on one side, you will see the blue water, and on the other side, you will see the pink water. And the south side is very beautiful and very colorful. You'll see white, pink, light blue, dark blue, green. It's amazing. I mean, even for myself doing the tours, I don't get tired of it because of every time I give the tour, there's every time something else to see. And with the guest, you have different conversation and things like that.
Okay.
Yeah. This is another picture for the white slave huts.
Okay. That was the end of the pictures.
Yeah.
That was amazing, and it is very definitely a beautiful island. Um, so let me ask this question: um, for somebody that comes with mobility challenges. Now, in my case, my wife uses a wheelchair, sometimes as a walker, sometimes as a wheelchair, but she doesn't have to stay in it, so she can get out.
Yeah.
That what I would imagine is pretty easy to accommodate. But what about a passenger or somebody that wants to come that is in a situation where they have to stay in their wheelchair or it's difficult to get out of their wheelchair? Is that something that you can accommodate?
Yes. So, for example, if you have a person with a wheelchair and they are allowed, they can be standing up and sit into the car. Yeah. Then we have they can use the car. Their wheelchair itself will stay with the security guard at the gate where the cruise ship is. Yeah. So Bonaire is very, very, very safe. People don't still walk after you to ask for money and all these things. It's very safe. Everybody who's on the street selling something need to have a permission, and the police are around to check over it all the time. So when your wheelchairs is staying behind at the gate, we will bring you back to the gate so you'll be able to get back to your wheelchair. If you cannot get out of your wheelchair, that is also no problem. There's a van. It fits about 15 to 20 people. In the back of the van, there's a lift going up. So you'll be standing there with your wheelchair. You'll be going up, and then you can just go in the van with your wheelchair. Um, the route that we take basically don't you don't really need to get out of the car and walk away to see something. Basically, while you're driving, the stops is just right there. So if you are in the wheelchair and you cannot walk, that's no problem at all. You will be able to see everything. But if you're allowed to walk, that's also no problem because you can just walk a little bit on the side of look around and things like that. So to do the mobility situation, and then it's just very good to advise us like weeks before so we can have everything prepared and ready because we want to treat everybody the same. um, that is our goal, that we want everybody who comes to the island to leave the island happier than when they arrived.
That sounds like a good goal.
Yeah.
Okay, so now let's go back and let's say a year from now in January, I'm coming back for my second trip.
Yeah.
What is it that I might want to think about doing on a second trip to Bonaire that I wouldn't have done on the North and South tour?
Okay, so if you come back for the second time for a longer period of time, we do have a very, very beautiful park that is called the Washington Park. And it's all nature. The roads are dirt roads, so it's going to be a little bit bumpy, but it's a beautiful park. You'll see a lot of nature, history of the island, and besides that, you'll also be going to the east side of the island, which is called Bolivia. You will not find this tour with anybody while you are on the cruise ships because this is a little bit further away in the island, and a lot of people don't go in the back there because of the time limit that people have to get back to the ship. So if you're on the island, you come back for visit for like a week or two. Bolivia is also a good one. Also Lagoon, which is also a very nice area to visit. You'll see on the east side the ocean, the rocks, the corals. Besides that as well, we have Sodobond Beach, who also allowed for people who have difficulties moving around and getting into the water because the water there is very flat, warm, nice, and it's all sand. So you can just sit in the water there, have your food, drink your tequila, whiskey, beers, whatever, and just enjoy the beach. The water does not get deep, and if I walk there, it will not go above my waist. So that's how low the water is, and it's amazing. So
That sounds
those are things that you can visit and enjoy in the time that you're here for more than a day or two.
okay. That sounds amazing. I really appreciate you being with us, Ephraim. If you'll stay around for just a few minutes after the show,
Yeah.
we can chat a little bit. You've been a great guest. For those of you that enjoyed the video, do me a favor. I really appreciate it when you hit the like button. Uh, that makes me feel better, and plus it gets some attention from the folks on YouTube, so they'll help show my video to other places. Also, feel free to share the video with anybody you know that would enjoy it. And next week, we're going to be talking with Alicia from the Chamber of Commerce or from the Visitors Bureau in Juneau, Alaska. So we'll go from the warm Caribbean to the cold North Country next week. And thanks, everybody. We'll see you next time.
See you.